My name is Natalie Kirk. I've been married for 8 years, and we have a 7-year-old daughter named Anna. Anna is so dear to us that we wouldn't mind having her in our eyes, but she's quite the clumsy natural. My husband runs a restaurant and cooks for customers every day. It seems that my husband's parents, who are quite wealthy, provided the funding for the restaurant. Since our child is still young, my only job is managing the books. Our family must seem happy at first glance. However, unfortunately, my husband has a tendency to cheat. Because of this, he has cheated several times over the past 8 years, causing me a lot of distress. Among those incidents was one involving a waitress who worked at my husband's restaurant. At that time, because she was an employee, the affair came to light quickly, and it ended with her being fired. A year has passed since then, and there doesn't seem to be any sign of my husband cheating again. Living in suspicion of my husband's infidelity is quite exhausting. So, when things calm down, it significantly reduces the mental fatigue. All I prayed for was for this peace to last forever. Yet, the day came when my husband's infidelity was exposed. It started with Anna's words, "Mommy, all the doors are locked, and everything's okay." A few days before that, Anna had said she wanted to go visit my husband's parents. "Mom, I want to see Grandma and Grandpa." My in-laws are nice people, they adore our daughter and treat me like their own daughter as well. So, I don't mind visiting my husband's parents, but lately, we've been too busy with our daughter, the restaurant, and house chores to find the time to visit. "Yeah, let's go visit them, it's been a while." My in-laws' place isn't too far away, less than an hour's drive. I know we should show them their granddaughter's face more often since we live so close, but reality doesn't always make that easy. When I told my husband about Anna's wish, he said, "Yeah, we should visit the old folks once in a while." "Alright, then let's all go there overnight when the restaurant is closed the next day." And so, it was decided we would go as a family. On the day, as the restaurant closed, I came over after getting ready to leave. I couldn't find my husband in the office, and it seemed like he had gone out. I searched for my husband, but he was nowhere to be found. Daddy's not here. I looked all around, but it's a small restaurant. There's nowhere to hide. I checked the office too, thinking he must have stepped out. The kitchen is clean, he must have been planning to head home. I decided to give his cell a call. However, I couldn't get through to him, the call went through, but he didn't pick up. Right, he said he turns off the sound at work. Maybe that's why. Where did Daddy go? Really, we were supposed to go see Grandpa and Grandma today. Did he forget? Did he really forget? I don't know, but Daddy is forgetful. That's not good, Daddy. The way she said it was as if she was mimicking me, and I couldn't help but smile. "Mom, let's go ahead. If we leave a note, Daddy will understand, right?" Anna, eager to get to my in-laws, suggested this. Indeed, she was right. It was already past 10 p.m., and if we don't hurry, my in-laws would be tired of waiting. Plus, it's already past Anna's bedtime, so it's not good for her either. Yeah, maybe he had some errands and left the restaurant earlier. Even so, the word affair popped up in my mind. Maybe he's cheating again with some woman. Forgetting a promise with his daughter, that's not like him at all. If that's the case, he wouldn't come back here. And why did he leave the lights on? My anxiety grew, and suspicions about my husband silently bubbled up. Am I going to go through the same thing again? I'm tired of this, enough already. But I couldn't let my daughter know about my worries. I didn't want to cause her any pain. I tried to sound as cheerful as possible. "Right. He'll probably come later. Let's go. Let's make sure everything's locked up." "Yeah. Anna will help too." So, we went around locking everything up, turned off the kitchen lights, and got into the car together. As for where my husband was at that time, he was actually in the basement. The basement, accessible from the kitchen and partially underground, also serves as a refrigerator. The basement is used as a storage for ingredients, so the temperature is always constant. Staying too long could chill you to the bone. But, working for about an hour should be no problem. So, I checked the basement thinking he might be working there, but my husband was nowhere to be found. However, where was my husband hiding? He was secretly embracing another woman. While my daughter and I were looking for him, the two of them held their breath, waiting for us to leave. They're gone. Yeah, that was close. I thought your wife might catch us again. She's gone to my parents with the kid, so we can relax now. The woman clung to my husband happily, laughing about continuing their rendezvous. But, eventually, even she got too cold. Wait a minute. If we don't have to worry about your wife coming, let's move somewhere warmer. I hate being cold in this refrigerator forever. That's true. Deciding that, they tried to open the door. But, the door wouldn't open. Of course, it wouldn't, because when Anna said everything's locked up tight, it meant she had locked the refrigerator too.
It's locked. What do you mean?
It seems we've been locked in.
No way. How are we supposed to get out? We can't. This door can only be unlocked from the outside. No way. Does that mean we're stuck here all night?
Not just all night, the restaurant is closed tomorrow.
You mean until the day after tomorrow?
That's what it looks like.
This is no joke. Can't someone hear us if we shout?
That's not gonna happen. There's no one in the restaurant.
So, what are we gonna do? We'll die in here if we have to wait until the day after tomorrow.
That's true.
Call the cops. Let's get the police to come and rescue us.
Even if we call the police, the door's locked, right? Do you think they'd come inside the restaurant? I'm sure if we contact the police, they'd connect us to the fire department and rescue would come. That'd be making a big scene. Still, it's better than enduring the cold here. No, that's not gonna work. If that happens, my wife will find out. If she finds out, she'll be mad at me again. Being alive is more important than getting yelled at. Then, let's call someone from the restaurant. Who are you gonna call?
The only other person with keys to the place is Johnson. Let's get Johnson to come.
No.
Absolutely not. That's a terrible idea.
Why the heck not?
Because I'm currently dating him. If he sees us here, he'll find out I've been cheating.
What?
You're dating me and Johnson at the same time. I can't help it. You're married, but Johnson is single, so there might be a chance to marry him.
So, that's how it is.
That's why we can't call Johnson.
Then what are we gonna do? What happened?
Someone's coming.
What? The two of them listened intently. It sounded like someone had come into the kitchen. And they could hear someone talking to themselves. Let's get their attention. If we shout, they'll hear us in the kitchen, right? They looked at each other. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to them, I had returned to the restaurant to pick up something I forgot. I was in such a hurry. Leaving the important ledger behind. Mom, you're such a klutz. Really, I am. I had driven off, but quickly realized I forgot the ledger and came back. Yet, my husband was still nowhere to be seen. I tried calling my in-laws, but it didn't seem like my husband had arrived there first. Wondering what had happened, I gave Anna some water because she said she was thirsty. Then, Anna looked towards the basement. What's wrong? I hear something. What is it? It was impossible not to get chills hearing that something was audible in the supposed empty restaurant. But Anna was sure she heard something and pointed towards the basement. Could it be? Him in the basement again? But, I checked earlier and no one was there. But it didn't have to be just my husband. It could be a burglar who snuck in during the short time. Tensing up, I quietly approached the basement. Then I heard a woman's voice from inside. We should just shout for help. How do we know who it is? Your wife went to her parents' house long ago, so it has to be someone else.
But what if it's my wife? Then she'll find out we're having an affair. That'd be a disaster. I don't care. If we don't get help, we'll freeze to death. Let's make sure who it is first. We can't see who it is, so it's all or nothing. No, we can't do that. Enough! Somebody open up! Help! We're locked in here, help!
That voice, the waitress from that time, isn't it Miranda? I unlocked the door and cautiously opened it. There was Miranda, looking cold but desperately shouting for help. And my husband, with his clothes in disarray. It definitely looked like they were caught in the act. Natalie.
Help!
I simply closed the door. Natalie. Open up. Why are you closing it?
Exactly. We're gonna die if it stays like this. Hurry up and open it. Natalie, you must be misunderstanding something. This isn't what it looks like. So, open the door.
Where's the misunderstanding? To say it's a misunderstanding with such disheveled clothes. So, he was cheating again after all. I was in shock and covered my face with my hands, but then Anna spoke to me. Mom, are you okay? Her face looked worried. No, I can't let her see me like this. I have to be strong. Could you go over there for a bit?
Dad? It's Dad inside, right?
Yes, it is. But I need to talk to Dad, so can you wait over there for me? Okay, I understand. After making sure Anna was seated on a kitchen chair, I opened the basement door. What's the misunderstanding? So, you think I'm cheating, don't you? Even with those disheveled clothes, you're saying this isn't a scene of infidelity? It pretty much looked like it was happening.
No, that's not it. Look, my pants, they're still on, aren't they?
Still. Exactly, clothes can get disheveled over a day, can't they? In such a cold place, would they really get disheveled like that? They get disheveled because we move a lot. Let's not talk about that. It's cold, let us out. If it's so cold, why were the two of you here together? Plus, Miranda was fired, right? She's not an employee here, so why is she here? That is,
Forgotten something. Right. She said she had forgotten something, so we came to pick it up.
Miranda was fired a year ago, right? And now she remembers she forgot something? And at this time? Especially when only the manager is here? These things happen. We've already broken up. It just so happened we were together. I find that hard to believe. That's the truth, so what can you do? When I checked here earlier, no one was here. So why are you here now? You had left. You knew I had gone out? So, you were here, right? The lock can't be locked from the inside. So, you and Miranda were hiding, right? After you left, I came here. Then I found the manager locked inside, so I opened it for him. But then I got locked in too. Who locked you in? I've said it before. The lock can't be engaged from inside. It can only be locked from outside. Your story about coming later and trying to rescue him doesn't add up. It just so happened the lock was engaged. That's a stretch. Fine, we were together. But so what? We had business to attend to, that's all. If you had business, why hide? A clear explanation would suffice, wouldn't it? That's because you were hiding because you were up to no good, right? Moreover, today was supposed to be a family day to visit your parents, so you knew I would be coming soon. That's why you were both in the basement. That's it, right? That's one way to look at it. If you take it the wrong way, anything can seem bad, right? Don't joke. How many times is this now? How many times do you need to cheat before you're satisfied? And to think, getting back with someone you've already split from. Don't you think these things just happen? Men and women, you know, these things happen.
That's absurd. Today was supposed to be a promise to Anna, and you broke that promise.
I didn't intend to break any promises. I thought I'd have a bit of fun with her, then head to my parents' place right after.
That's exactly breaking the promise. You should have just kept your promise to Anna instead of doing this. So what? I got carried away. And when she came by while I was alone, I thought, why not take the chance?
Miranda, what about you? Why did you come at this time? Because the manager called me.
Don't say that.
Why are you calling her?
No, it's not like that. That's a lie. I didn't call her.
Manager, that's terrible. You said if you send your wife and daughter to your parents first, we could have fun. That's why I came. So, you never intended to go to your parents in the first place?
That's not true. Even though you said we could enjoy ourselves tomorrow since the restaurant is closed. How dare you?
No, really, it's not like that. Whose word are you gonna believe, me or this sleazy woman?
Sleazy woman? Look who's talking, you're the sleazy man here.
Hey, Miranda. Now's not the time for that, is it?
You started it. Look, I was just called here. If anything, I'm the victim. Even a year ago, it was the manager who came on to me. And yet, I'm the one who got blamed for everything and ended up getting fired, but the manager is at fault too. I think it's not good to just believe your husband. Natalie, believe me. I was just seduced by this woman. Please, I didn't do anything.
You did do something, right here. No, that's not true. It's too cold to undress here. So, the plan was to warm up somewhere else and take it slow from there. But then you came back. That's the real story.
That's not true. Miranda, don't make up stories. Which one of us is making up stories?
Enough, take some time to reflect.
Natalie, wait! If you leave us here, we'll freeze to death. If that happens, you'll be responsible for killing us. Please, let us out. I really didn't do anything. Far from not doing anything, you were caught in the act. Stop making a fool of me. Cool off a bit.
With that, I closed the door again and locked it. The two thought they were going to be saved, but began screaming once more. We can't stay here overnight in winter.
We're telling you, we'll freeze to death. Why don't you get it, you crazy woman?
If you love each other so much, why don't you keep each other warm? It should be easy for you, right?
Natalie, are you that heartless? To do something like this just because of a little cheating? That's too harsh.
The two yelled to be let out, calling me heartless.
It's Dad's fault. Mom's always crying, and Dad doesn't know that. Anna knows. Dad's stupid.
Incredibly, my daughter, who was supposed to be sitting in the kitchen, pushed past me to stand in front of the door and yelled that. Shouted at by Anna, my husband finally fell silent. Anna, weren't you in the kitchen?
I was worried about Mom, so I've been watching.
How kind she is. Even a little child worries about me, yet the man I married and loved doesn't seem to care about me at all.
Hey! Let us out quickly. If we freeze to death, I'll curse you. Open up now. Open up, you old hag.
Miranda's behavior became even worse, and her words unbearable to hear. Thinking this couldn't go on, I decided to call my in-laws. I phoned them and briefly explained the situation, and they came right away. Seeing me sitting in the kitchen, shocked, my mother-in-law rushed over.
Natalie! What on earth happened?
Mother-in-law, if you look in the basement, you'll understand. Ken has been cheating again.
Ken has? You saw it with your own eyes?
Yes. What a thing to happen.
That Ken. Despite all we said, again?
My in-laws were well aware of my husband's cheating habits, seemingly at a loss for words again. When my in-laws went to the basement and opened the door, they found the two huddled together, looking cold.
What in a world?
Hey, you take Anna and go back first. I'll have a talk with this guy. Understood. What about you, Natalie? It's a sad situation, but it's a marital issue. She's gonna have to deal with it a bit longer, I guess. Yes. With that, my mother-in-law took Anna, who had been by my side, and they got into the car to head back to the in-laws' house. As the sound of the engine faded away, I dragged my husband and Miranda out of the basement.
What's the meaning of this?
Back in the warm kitchen, the two sat down, shivering. Dad, I was saved. If you hadn't come, I might have ended up in the afterlife.
As if that would happen. This foolish son of mine.
But it was Natalie who locked us in there. What kind of terrible woman does that?
That's because you two were getting cozy down there. And this woman, wasn't she the one you were involved with before? She used to be a waitress here, right? Why is she here again?
He told me to come over. He said today we could enjoy ourselves. So, you just come running whenever you're called, that easy?
That's terrible. When called, one would think there's some matter to attend to. I thought there must be some reason, so I came.
So, you came because you thought it would be fun? Didn't you just say that? That is, but there's no mistaking he invited me. No, Dad, it's not like that. I was alone, and then this woman showed up. She said since I was alone, it'd be okay. Why else would I betray Natalie?
Terrible. Even though you're the one who invited me. It was you who enticed me.
The manager said it was okay today.
I just said I was alone. Enough already. Who said what isn't the issue here? The fact is, you were cheating.
But Dad. I had decided not to betray Natalie anymore, but this woman seduced me, so isn't she the one at fault?
I wouldn't have come if I hadn't been called.
Absolutely hopeless. I didn't provide funding for the restaurant for this sort of thing. That may be true, but... What? What do you mean you provided funding? The manager said he set up the shop on his own, claiming it was 100% his. No, that's not true. This restaurant was 100% funded by your father-in-law. Without his help, this place wouldn't exist. What, so you mean the manager has been boasting all this time? I don't know how you heard it, but the rights to this restaurant belong to your father-in-law. So, essentially, a hired manager? Plainly speaking, yes. What? I was told I had all the rights because I put in all the money, and now you're saying I have no rights? All that boasting for nothing. But this restaurant is mine, right? Indeed, it's for you, but if I say it's over, then it's over.
That's ridiculous.
What if the investor asks for his investment back? But Dad wouldn't say that, right? I wonder. With all this happening inside the restaurant, making your wife suffer, I doubt I'd let it go. Natalie has endured a lot already. It's time to make a decision. What do you mean? Look, Natalie. You've done well until now. But with all this happening, and even Anna suffering, isn't it the limit? This fool should be handed over to other women, like his mistress here, for example.
Dad, what are you saying? That's right. I have someone I'm seeing. I wouldn't seriously date a cheater like him. And to think he said it was his restaurant when he's not even the owner. Just a hired hand. That's not attractive at all.
Oh my, so you're interested in a man with money but not in one without? You're quite straightforward.
Me? I never planned on staying with such a flirty woman forever. I just wanted to have my fun with other women while continuing as husband and wife with Natalie. What a person. Ken lacks sincerity. This is my sincerity.
Stop deluding yourself. What will you do, Natalie? I'm getting a divorce.
Natalie!
I'm tired. I felt a bit relieved this past year because it seemed like there was no cheating, but it wasn't perfect. I was always anxious he might be sneaking around. And there it was. I'm just too tired. Living in constant worry like this is impossible for me. All right, I agree to the divorce.
Dad!
So, you need to leave this restaurant.
What? Why does it come to that?
It's only natural after all the pain you've caused Natalie.
If I leave, this restaurant will fail. It's obvious it will collapse immediately.
We'll manage the restaurant. A chef like you can be replaced easily if we pay. It's just a matter of money. What about me then? Do whatever you want. Find another woman or settle down with her. But never make Natalie cry again. And don't expect any help from me.
That's ridiculous. Without Dad's money, what am I supposed to do? I can't do anything by myself.
That's not my concern. Natalie. Yes? I'll arrange for a lawyer so we can get the divorce papers signed as soon as possible. Be prepared for that. Yes. I get nothing. You explain everything so carefully to Natalie, who isn't even your real daughter, but you won't even consider your own son's feelings about the divorce. You're being divorced. Your opinion isn't necessary.
How can you say that? This is a marital issue. Dad has no place to interfere.
Think about what you've done. It's a natural outcome. And about the restaurant, Natalie will be the new president. What? As long as we have a chef, we can continue to serve food. With a competent leader, the restaurant will thrive. If Anna needs, we can have Grandma look after her. She'll be delighted to play with her granddaughter every day. That's terrible, Dad. Deciding everything on your own. It's because it's not your place. Like I said before, the investor's opinion is what matters most. And it was clear that Natalie has much more acumen than you could ever have as a manager. That's too harsh. Yes, I have something to say to you too. What? You're going to let me run another place? No, you will pay alimony and child support. If you can't pay, borrow and pay in one lump sum. That's how a man who made his wife cry should settle things. That's a lot of money. If I pay that, I'll go bankrupt. It's your own fault. You should feel the pain. My own son, and yet. Natalie, are you really going to divorce me? Don't you want to keep trying with me? Being with you would only make me worry about being cheated on again. I think it's better to divorce.
Is that so? Fine then. Do whatever you want. Miranda, you'll date me, right? No need to be scared of the wife anymore. No need to sneak around in refrigerators. From now on, we can do whatever we want, wherever we want.
Huh? What nonsense are you spouting? I only wanted you because you were someone else's. Besides, didn't I say I have a boyfriend? Why would I pick up a man who's not even a manager or an owner, and who's been dumped by his wife? You have zero appeal.
What a woman!
After paying the alimony and child support, Ken ended up in debt. Kicked out of the restaurant and with nowhere to go, he clung to his mother-in-law. However, she too disowned such a foolish son. Losing the restaurant and his parents' support, he was left unable to do anything on his own. He ended up begging Miranda to live with him, but Miranda, being serious about her own boyfriend, never considered being with a man like Ken. He remained alone. Eventually, he rented a cheap apartment and found a new job, but it seems he's just washing dishes every day. He sent messages of regret and apologies, but they were so obviously attempts to reconcile that I blocked him. As for me, I left my daughter with my in-laws and work at the restaurant every day. Never thought I'd become the president, but I'm enjoying every day.